The warmth of the day lingered heavily in the air. Lamenith sat quietly upon the smooth white stone edge of the fountain, her fingers trailing lightly across its cool surface as she gazed out across the royal gardens of Damarkan. All around her, life moved gently. Men and women walked the winding paths in quiet conversation. Some sat upon the many benches that lined the immaculate lawns. Others gathered in small groups beneath the shade of carefully shaped trees and tall white columns that framed the gardens. The soft murmur of voices blended with the steady trickle of water and the faint whisper of wind brushing across the open heights. It was peaceful. Perfectly so. Her eyes moved slowly across the scene. The grass was cut so evenly it seemed unreal, like a surface shaped rather than grown. Flower beds bloomed in deliberate patterns, each color placed with intent. Even the air itself felt settled. Too settled. A petal drifted loose from a nearby bloom. Lamenith watched it fall. It slowed, just slightly, before coming to rest. Her brow furrowed. Then,
"Forgive the intrusion."
She turned. A man stood a short distance from her, composed and still, his robes of black and white shifting lightly in the warm air. He inclined his head with quiet respect.
"My name is Tristran. Marjorie Drift has asked that I assist you during his absence."
Lamenith rose slowly.
His absence?
"He has been called away."
Tristran replied.
"He asked that you not be left unattended, should you wish to see more of the city."
There was something in the way he said it. Final, but not dismissive. Lamenith studied him for a moment, then nodded.
I would.
A faint smile touched his lips.
"Then, if you are willing, we can begin here."
They walked together through the gardens. Lamenith moved slowly, her gaze never still for long.
The towers,
She said after a moment, glancing upward.
they rise far higher than I first thought.
Yes. What you see here is only one of the twin peaks. This is the High Spire, the seat of the royal court and those who serve it.
And the other?
The Trade Spire, industry, docks, the fleet. It is no less grand, only louder.
Lamenith gave a faint smile at that.
And all of this
She gestured lightly around them.
is part of one city?
It is.
He said simply. They passed beneath a tall white archway. The warmth softened. The sounds of the gardens fell away behind them. Their footsteps began to echo. Lamenith felt the shift immediately.
This place.
She murmured. Tristran did not answer at first. Instead, he allowed her to see. The hall opened before them, vast, endless. Arches stretched high above, their white stone catching the light that streamed through tall windows. The space seemed to carry sound without holding it, every footstep softened yet clear. Statues stood in quiet intervals. Paintings filled the spaces between, and woven through it all, movement. Lamenith slowed. A mural along the far wall drew her eye. At first, it appeared still. Then, smoke shifted, only slightly, a faint curl rising where none had been before. She frowned and stepped closer. A torch mounted along the wall flickered, not from any wind she could feel, but as if stirred by something within the image itself.
Is it alive?
Tristran followed her gaze.
Not alive, only remembered.
Lamenith looked at him.
But the smoke moved.
Yes,
And the fire.
burns as it did.
She studied the mural again.
But how?
Tristran paused briefly, as if considering how much to say.
Fragments, memories, are woven into the imagery, enough to preserve motion, nothing more.
Weaving memories?
Yes, Memories are handed down, and they are woven by skilled mages and historians. It's fascinating, yes?
Lamenith's gaze lingered on the mural. The smoke shifted again, so faint she might have imagined it.
It doesn't feel like magic.
It rarely does here.
Tristram agreed. They moved deeper into the hall. Lights drifted slowly above, small spheres of soft illumination that adjusted their height and brightness as people passed beneath them. Lamenith watched one carefully.
Those are not fixed.
No.
They move on their own?
They respond.
Tristram said.
To presence. To need.
And this is all made with Kevlar?
In part.
She let out a slow breath.
It is everywhere.
Tristram gave a small nod.
Yes.
They passed the cavalry sculptures. Lamenith slowed again. The horses were captured mid-motion, powerful yet controlled, their riders steady and focused. At the center stood a woman with her horse. The inscription at its base read, Kentar. Lamenith studied her in silence.
She led them.
I can see that,
Lamenith replied. There was no arrogance in the statue, only certainty. They walked on. Lamenith's attention moved from one piece to another, names carved into stone, fragments of armor preserved with care, long banners hanging in stillness. She passed another statue, a man, calm, composed. She did not stop, not yet. Further along, the hall opened wider. The great mural stretched before them. Lamenith stepped closer. This time she saw more. Not just smoke, but faint shifts in light. The suggestion of movement within stillness.
This is the war.
Yes.
It feels
She paused, searching for the word.
unfinished.
Tristram gave a faint nod.
Memory rarely feels complete.
They moved on. Then, she stopped. The statue stood slightly apart, unremarkable in pose, yet something about it drew her. Lamenith stepped closer. Her breath slowed. Her eyes narrowed.
Tristram.
Yes.
That's him.
Drift.
Tristram said. She stared.
This was 700 years ago.
Yes.
Silence settled between them. She looked back toward the hall, then forward again. The same face, unchanged.
I see.
But her expression said otherwise. They left the hall soon after. The city below greeted them with movement. Streets stretched outward in clean, ordered lines, filled with life. Merchants called out softly, offering finely woven fabrics that shimmered in the light. Stalls displayed fresh fruits, polished glassware, and crafted goods of clear quality. Nothing was crude, nothing neglected. Everything was cared for. Lamenith turned slowly, taking it in.
This is not what I expected.
No?
It is too clean, too deliberate.
He smiled faintly.
Damarkan does not tolerate decay.
They moved through the streets. Above, she could see the distant structures of the trade spire. Massive cranes lifted cargo with slow, controlled motion, assisted by faint blue glows. Kevlar at work. Ships hovered in the distance, aligning with platforms with unnatural precision.
Those are guided?
In part.
Tristram replied.
The rest, they do themselves.
They passed a stall. A man reached for a glass. It slid toward him, stopped, retreated, just slightly, then moved forward again into his hand. Lamenith frowned.
Did you see that?
Tristram glanced at her.
See what?
She hesitated, looked back. The man was already drinking, unbothered.
Nothing.
They continued. The further they walked, the more the city rose around them. The twin peaks loomed above, overwhelming everything below. The walls, she searched for them, but from here, they were barely visible.
This city,
Yes?
it feels like it never ends.
Tristram looked ahead.
For those who live here, it does not need to.
Lamenith said nothing more, but her gaze lingered, just a moment longer than before.